I'd just settle it. I'll sweep up the coals now," he added, vigorously applying a turkey wing to the purpose, as he knelt on the hearth, his spare, lean figure glowing in the blaze of the firelight, and getting quite flushed with exertion. "There now," he said, when he had brushed over and under and between the fire irons, and pursued the retreating ashes so far into the red, fiery citadel that his finger ends were burning and tingling. "That there's done now, as well as Hepsy herself could 'a' done it. I aller sweeps up the hearth. I think it's part of the man's business when he makes the fire. But Hepsy's so used to seeing me a-doing on it that she don't see no kind of merit in it. It's just as Parson Lothrop said in his sermon, folks allers overlook their common marcies." "But come, Sam, that story," said Harry and I coaxingly, pressing upon him and pulling him down into his seat in the corner. "Lordy massy, these 'ere young'uns," said Sam. "There's never no contentin' on 'em, and they just swallers it as a dog does a gob of meat, and they're all ready for another. What do you want to hear now?" Now the fact was that Sam's stories had been told us so often that they were all arranged and ticketed in our minds. We knew every word of them, and could set him right if he varied a hair from the usual track, and still the interest in them was unabated. Still we shivered and clung to his knees at the mysterious parts, and felt gentle, cold chills run down our spines at appropriate places. We were always in the most receptive and sympathetic condition. Tonight, in particular, was one of those thundering, stormy ones when the winds appeared to be holding a perfect mad carnival over my grandfather's house. They yelled and squealed round the corners, they collected in troops, and came tumbling and roaring down chimney. They shook and tattled the buttery door and the sink-room door and the cellar door and the chamber door, with a constant undertone of squeak and clatter, as if at every door were a cold, discontented spirit, tired of the chill outside and longing for the warmth and comfort within. "Well, boys," said Sam confidentially, "what'll ye have?" "Tell us, come down," we both shouted with one voice. This was, in our mind, an No. 1 among Sam's stories. "Ye mustn't be frightened now," said Sam paternally. "Oh, no, we aren't frightened, ever," said we both in one breath. "Not when ye go down the cellar after cider?" said Sam with severe scrutiny. "If ye should be down cellar, and the candle should go out now?" "I ain't," said I ain't afraid of anything. I never knew what it was to be afraid in my life." "Well, then," said Sam, "I'll tell you. This yere's what Cap'n Eb Sawin told me when I was a boy about your bigness, I reckon. Cap'n Eb Sawin was a most remarkable man. Your grandfather knew him very well, and he was a deacon in the church in Dedham afore he died. He was at Lexington when the first gun was fired agin the British. He was a drefful smart man, Cap'n Eb was, and driv team a good many years atween here and Boston. He married Lois Peabody, that was cousin to your grandfather then. Lois was a real sensible woman, and I've heard her tell the story as he told her, and it was just as he told it to me, just exactly, and I shall never forget it if I live to be 900 years old like Methuselah. You see, along back in them times, there used to be a feller come round these 'ere parts, spring and fall, a-peddlin' goods, with his pack on his back, and his name was Jehiel Lamidew. Nobody rightly knew where he come from. He wasn't much of a talker, but the women rather liked him, and kind of liked to have him round. Women will like some fellers, when men can't see no sort of reason why they should, and they liked this here Lamidew, though he was kind of mournful and thin and shad-bellied, and hadn't nothing to say for himself. But it got to be so that the women would count and calculate so many weeks afore it was time for Lamidew to be along, and they'd make up ginger snaps and preserves and pies, and make him stay to tea at their houses, and feed him up on the best there was. And the story went round that he was a-courtin' Phoebe Ann Parker, or Phoebe Ann was a-courtin' him, folks didn't rightly know which. Well, all of a sudden, Lamidew stopped comin' round, and nobody knew why, only just he didn't come. It turned out that Phoebe Ann Parker